Good afternoon, and welcome to my presentation on bringing Agile to your team. So for my executive summary, I'd like to talk a little bit about the company that I'm currently working with and kind of give more background as to a certain project that they're, pursuing. The company that I'm working with is called Abrams Realty and Development. It's a real estate development firm that develops properties from the ground up. They also do many other things, and doing by doing so, they enable themselves a better diversification of assets. So, aside from development, they're also a brokerage firm that helps people find properties that they're looking for, whether that be commercial, mixed use, or real estate, just residential real estate. And then there's also property management company. They manage their own portfolio and also other people's portfolios. They're always open to taking on new clients. This diversification in assets has really enabled them to be successful throughout the years. The property that we're currently looking at is 1101 Walnut Street, Philadelphia, PA. As you can see on the right side, there is currently an abandoned Wendy's, I want to say. And what the plan is to tear it down and put this building on the bottom eventually there. This would probably take 2 years, 2.5 years. It's going to be a big project. The property is a mixed use development project proposal. So there's going to be 4,420 square foot of retail. It's going to be maybe a grocery store, shopping center, whatever it may be. 6,281 square foot of office space that's going to be available for other businesses to rent out and utilize. And then there's also going to be the bread and butter, the 198 residential units, which is a pretty big operation. So the current state of project execution for Abrams Realty and Development, the product owner, and he's not really the founder, but he's inherited the company over time. His family, it's a family business, and those family values have enabled him to be successful over time. The product owner and founder is Peter Abrams. I keep saying founder because it's Abrams, but he inherited the company. He grew up in this business. Peter Abrams took over in January 1996, and he's still working on it today. He also went to Temple University, like me, so he's very integrated with the Philadelphia market, and he understands it very well. Uh, Peter has also surrounded himself with a team of legal and realty experts that guide his decision-making process so that he makes the best decision he possibly can and pursues the best projects that he possibly can. The project manager and project coordinator is a team of three project managers, and each of them has their own assistant PM. Some of them actually have two assistant project managers. I currently work as an assistant project manager, so I'm just trying to learn the ropes as best I can and assist the project manager in any of his tasks and duties. The stakeholders are internal. They have a long history of investing with Abrams Realty and Development due to their time and time success. Currently, the project is in planning phase, so it has yet to begin construction. How it sort of begins is first they go to an architect and the civil engineers to develop these CAD drawings, kind of like right over here to the right, and much more in depth, obviously. So once they make those plans, they present them to the city, and then pending city approval, then they go back to the stakeholders and they say, hey, this is, they start doing some financial modeling and they say, hey, this is how much this project would cost. Would you guys be interested in working with us? Primarily, they deal with internal stakeholders. They kind of avoid banks, especially nowadays with these high interest rates. And I think that has a lot to do with their family values and what's made them successful over time. These partners, these stakeholders, they share in equity, but not really in responsibility. They have no say really when it comes to how the project goes over the course of time. So their style of management is a top-down management style, and that's kind of common in the real estate industry. Some people say it's a little outdated, and there is room for growth. And as this presentation goes, I'd like to touch on those methods of agility that could help this company. But for the most part, it has been proven to be successful, and the top-down management works pretty well. The product owner is very hands-on. He speaks really closely with the project managers, who kind of are the liaison between the upper management, the product owner, and the general contractors who carry out the actual development phase. So the current state of organizational impact, Agile metrics, it's really, I had to put a question mark because it's not something that they really look at as this is an agile metric. But in a way, we do look at something like cycle time, the time it takes to complete a task. KPIs used by Abrams Realty and Development. There are many KPIs. They're very focused on their bottom line. So payback period is very important. The time it takes for them to get their money back. ROI, the return on investment, also very important. And since they do operate in a diversity of different types of assets, whether that be residential, commercial, mixed use, or just owning and renting flat out, they do look at other things like tenant turnover. While you're buying, you also want to look at comparative listings and average rent in the area. And data gathering tools, they do everything through Excel. And as you can see to my right, that's not an actual, I don't think I'm free to disclose any of their actual documents, but on the right, that's kind of what we look at. It's an Excel dashboard that's created. It's manually inputted. It's a little old school, but it's been working wonders for them over time. So the proposal for Agile introduction or improvement, introducing Agile software can have tremendous benefits. And as I've been there, and I have this experience from this course, I'd really like to touch on some of those things. There would be, if they introduce a software such as Kanban, and utilize something like Jira or Asana, I feel like there would be a faster feedback loop between the product owner and the team members. And maybe if he doesn't like something, right now it follows a chain of command that goes from the team members on the ground, the general contractors and the architects that are working more closely with the building of the project, to the project manager. And then from the project manager, it kind of goes to the product owner. There could be a faster way of doing this by utilizing something like Kanban, or other web applications that integrate agility software. Faster feedback loops, like I said, clearly defined job task. Everybody could see exactly what they need to do, and it would be on a nice user-friendly software. It would streamline portfolios. It would make everything very straightforward and easy to understand. And this will eventually drive performance, because when you make things easy to understand that everyone can keep up, and communication is picking up, communication is faster between teams, I feel like that will have a very good effect on efficiency throughout the whole product. Reduce the workload for the project manager. Like I said, things kind of travel through this chain of command with the project manager there. And the assistants like me, we're all very hands-on. We have to be there all the time, and it would be really good. It would be really beneficial if we introduce something that could expedite the communication line from the product owner to the general contractors. Agile metrics to track, like I said earlier, cycle time, looking at things like cycle time, looking at how long something will take, and then sprint burnt down, which is also very important. The sprint burnt down is it's kind of a visual comparison on how much work is being done per sprint, and that way we can have a better understanding of how much time we're spending per sprint. We can track the same KPIs as well. Like I said, I'll take us back to over here. All of these KPIs were very bottom line oriented. Payback period, ROI, tenant turnover, average rent, and comparative listings. We can continue to track those same KPIs. We don't have to change everything up from the ground up. And how to implement. Right now the project managers are super hands-on and they're really busy all the time, and which is a good thing for the company, obviously. A good way to kind of introduce it would to be teach the assistant project managers, the ability to utilize this software, and that way they'll be able to guide the project managers, or just be able to let the project managers be more hands-on the field, because their expertise and experience is kind of why they're in their position today, and them being hands-on is really important to the project. So if they could teach the assistant project managers something, I believe that we could implement this process. It would take 2 years to successfully achieve full agility. Some of these projects, like the 1110 Walnut Street, is going to take, or 1101 Walnut Street, is going to take about 2 years to complete, 2.5 years to complete. So it is going to be really important to give us time. It's not going to be something that's going to be overnight, and for us to really see the benefits and see if things are working, we're going to want to be able to oversee a few projects so we can say, hey, like, we have seen improvements. We do like the communication. We do like streamlining certain things, and we do like these visual graphs that we utilize. And thank you for your time. And if you have any questions, please feel free to write any comments. Thank you.